Why do you allow them to call you the border czar when that's not even that wasn't your
I'm
role?
not giving him permission for that. Fact checkers have made that clear.
Quote unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People are going to have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
You serious?
Last night, Kamala Harris had another disastrous town hall meeting. This time with bootlicker Charlamagne the God, who is essentially an anti-white loser, host of the Breakfast Club. And I think he was what you might call the moderator or the MC of Kamala Harris's desperate attempt to regain the black vote. Black people don't like Kamala Harris. That's the fact. And, I can't fix that. Kamala Harris can't fix that. They don't like her. That's just the reality of the cold, hard reality of it all. So she had a town hall that went disastrously. New data was released this morning. Her entire campaign has been running on the fact that she, in fact, lowered crime. Nobody believed that. They fact-checked Trump when he refuted that. It turns out Trump was right. The FBI quietly revised their crime data. Guess what? It's up. Everyone who has a set of eyes, knew that from the first place. Now let's get into this. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Lumen. Really, really cool device. It's the world's first metabolic handheld coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath and on the app. It lets you know if you're burning fat, carbs, or gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, sleep, workouts, and even stress management. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you know what's going on with your metabolism. Whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs, this comes in handy for me as I reinvigorate my intermittent fasting. Because your metabolism is at the center of everything your body does, optimal metabolic health translates to a bunch of good benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness, better sleep, and much more. So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/thequartering or link in the description to get 15% off Lumen, or just click, again, the link in below. That's lumen.me/thequartering for 15% off your purchase. Thank you to Lumen for sponsoring this video. Now, the new crime statistics came out. President Trump was right about everything. This is a tweet from Trump's war room.
Crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But
excuse me, the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities.
Trump was right. Trump was right. Trump was 100% right. Guess what? Crime is not down 2.1%. According to the FBI, they just released a, quote, stealth edit. Aggressive crime is actually up 4.5%. Who could have foreseen this? So they hid 6%, right? Instead of saying it was down 2.1, the reality is it is up 4.5%. There it is, the FBI's revised aggressive crime data, now reporting that instead of a 2.1% drop in this said crime in 2022, it was actually a 4.5% increase. Who could have foreseen this? How long till the FBI comes out and admits that they're eating the dogs and they're eating the cats too? This guy went on stage got gaslit, lied to, defrauded, defaced, defamed, and he was right the entire time. He was right the entire time. And that's why he's up 19 points in the polls. Almost 19 points. He was right.
3 weeks from tonight, the people of Georgia are going to end Kamala Harris's reign of failure.
Reign of failure, nice. I hope.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Love it. Now, I don't know how to feel about the historic early voting numbers in Georgia. I don't know if that's supposedly good for Trump, supposedly good for Kamala. It's difficult to know. But what I do know is that early voting is up, and it's definitely part of the message that Trump has been out there saying. Vote early in person. Vote early in person. It's a message that I share with you guys every day. Vote early in person. Avoid the lines, bank your vote, check your vote, then spend a week making sure you find other people and you take them to vote. That's what the Democrats do, and that's why they got so many votes in 2022. I'm sorry, in 2020. Republicans must do that. Now, just checking in on Kamala Harris's town hall and feedback. Here's the last podcast she did, All the Smoke. Received 32,000 upvotes, not too bad. Over 2 weeks, doesn't even break 600,000 views, and has nearly 100,000 dislikes. Here's Kamala Harris. Charlamagne the God uploaded his entire audio town hall with Kamala Harris to YouTube late last night. His subscribers are already demolishing Kamala in the comment section. Over 15,000 comments calling her out for being the worst VP in history. The more people hear from her, the less they like her. That's what I'm saying. I want this woman to go on Joe Rogan. Who immediately went to the comment section. Charlamagne, they say everything you say is scripted. Kamala, you're welcome. Charlamagne can now join the cast of The View, so people are clowning him. Remember when he had Hillary Clinton on here, and he said that she carries with her his hot sauce? Should have let Envy interview her. This is just two ladies drinking tea. Caller, why are you sending money to over to other countries when you have problems here in America? Kamala, we got the prices down on insulin. When I was vice president, you are still vice president. Interview, what's your plan to fix the economy? Kamala, in West Philadelphia, born and raised on a playground was where I spent most of my days. Now I want to go promise black people free money and weed. Charlamagne, why do you allow yourself to lose your credibility by not fact-checking her or pushing back on all of her dodging questions? Now, I don't know what Charlamagne's actual YouTube channel is because I looked. I couldn't find it. I really wanted to look at this for myself. So, I don't know if he's got more than one channel. Maybe it's on The Breakfast Club.
Where is...
Let's see. It is on The Breakfast Club. Okay. So he uploaded to The Breakfast Club, and here's the full interview. It got 200,000 views.
We the people.
25,000 dislikes to just 10,000 likes. Absolutely shredded. We all know Charlamagne carries water for the Democrats. And even he doesn't like the whole paying for kids to have surgeries, paying for migrants. 45 seconds in an interview. Well, you are black, so... I mean, what? Who else immediately went to the comment section? Like my grandpa used to say, you can't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. I like how she says Donald Trump uses fear as they continue to talk about him for 75% of the interview, pointing out how scary it would be if he won. The short answer is, to what she said about reparations, we ain't getting anything. So she promises, in a desperate move, reparations. Harris says she remains open to reparations in an interview with Charlamagne the God. What? Literally what? Reparations? For what? No living person on the planet now was ever a slave. No living person on the planet right now ever owned a slave. Nobody's parents, nobody's grandparents, and probably nobody's great-great-grandparents. Nobody's great-great-great-great-grandparents owned a slave. So why exactly would I give the money? I mean, Charlamagne is one of the dumbest idiots on the planet. I don't know why black people respect him. He's a complete clown. You see, this Harris defends scripted style and agrees Trump is about fascism in wide-ranging interview with Charlamagne the God. What? What? In the hour-long town hall, by the way, I will be live streaming the Fox News town hall tonight at 5 Eastern over on Quartercast and on Rumble. You're going to want to get your popcorn ready for that. Harris defended her record as San Francisco District Attorney, describing herself as one of the most progressive prosecutors on weed cases. Not true. If elected, Harris said she would push for federal decriminalization. By the way, I'm fine with that. I do think it's interesting that Kamala Harris just thinks all black people smoke weed and that all black people only seem to care about weed. You know? Now, you want to talk about slavery existing? Oh, it absolutely exists, just not in America anymore. A lot of Muslim countries, Africa still has slaves. There are more slaves on the planet right now in 2024 than ever existed. Did you know that? More now than ever. Harris peppered with questions by Charlamagne the God's audience. It all went bad. Let's look at some of these clips. Charlamagne asked Kamala Harris about her role as border czar. Kamala says, fact checkers have made it clear that she was not the border czar, despite corporate media using the title.
Why do you allow them to call you the border czar when that's not even that wasn't your
I'm
role?
not giving him permission for that.
Oh, you're right. But I mean, you don't push back on it because that wasn't your role. What?
Yes, it was. Literally everybody.
Fact checkers have made that clear.
Why do you?
Sorry, earlier I meant nobody in America has owned slaves, not the planet. Like, I want to correct that. She absolutely was the border czar. It was a disastrous. After rambling incoherently while answering a question from a caller, Kamala says, I'll keep going.
And so I say that as a preface to say two other things, and then I'll keep going. One, to deal with, I mean, you like that? You caught that.
You'll keep going. He's like, this is going so bad for you. I can't believe you're still going. That's what he said. Here we go. After saying misinformation is one of America's biggest problems, Kamala goes on to spread, quote, misinformation, the bloodbath hoax, a reference to the car industry, and the suckers and losers hoax, a story a journalist made up that very first person witness said was false.
And he has said since then that there will be a bloodbath after this election.
No, he hasn't. That's not what he said. Charlamagne, the narrative is that the economy does better under Republicans. Why do people believe that?
Well, for some reason, the narrative is that the economy does better under Republicans. Why do people believe that, and why don't Democrats push back on that narrative more?
They do.
Well, I think that part of the issue is that Democrats probably talk about it more in terms of what we are doing for people rather than the economy, when in fact,
after this aired, the betting odds on Donald Trump skyrocketed to an all-time high, at least versus Kamala Harris. Last night after this aired, it reached 60.1%. 60.1% in the betting markets. Kamala Harris is a complete moron, and I absolutely look forward to hearing her say more moronic things tonight at 5 Eastern, live on Quartercast, which will be linked in the description, as well as Rumble. Make sure you check out Lumen as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.